Oh boy, we're back once again. How are ya? Welcome to another episode of the Josh Potter Show. Oh boy, 1 week from tonight, I will be in my hometown at my home club where I was born, Helium Comedy Club in Buffalo, New York, the Buffalo. 22nd. Yes, sir. Yes. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
And it's on the night before Thanksgiving. Make sure you come out. And then when I get back here to Southern California, I'm going to be at the Brea Improv on November 29th. So get your tickets for both of those. That wraps up November. Then December 1st through 3rd, La Jolla Comedy Store. December 22nd through the 23rd, I will be at Tampa Bay Side Splitters. Get your tickets now. They can be found right in the description of the episode. You don't have to go anywhere. Just click the description. You'll find it. Or you can go over to my Instagram at Josh_Potter. There you'll find links to all sorts of things. The merch, joshpottermerch.com, twitch.tv/Josh_Potter, and patreon.com/The Josh Potter Show. Subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff. Thank you very much. And today, oh boy, as I live and breathe, it's Johnny Pemberton, folks.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I've got a competing date.
Oh, you do?
I'm in San Diego on December 2nd.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, let's hang out when you're in San Diego.
Let's do it.
Rage.
December 2nd, mic drop.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, that's like on the other, I've done both.
Right.
I'm in La Jolla. You're in the mic drop. They're other ends of the earth. You can come to one of my shows. I have 5, for Christ's sake.
Maybe I will.
So he's got a couple of his. Yeah, you come hang out.
We'll do it. We'll hang out. We'll like eat shrimp tacos.
Oh my God. What is the name of the restaurant that I'm obsessed with? La Puerta?
I haven't been to San Diego in a while. I feel like it's not the same. It must have changed, I feel like.
I went to San Diego for the first time ever during George Floyd. Like when that was happening.
During George Floyd?
Yeah, like when that was happening.
George Floyd week.
Not while he was being choked. The fallout, obviously.
Right. So that was like June 2020.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was the last indoor shows that they could have. Because I did the shows, and it was such a weird, like... I called my friend who's been to San Diego a lot. I go, is San Diego dicey? And he's like, I mean, like any other city. But it was extra
dicey?
Peaked because of the whole, you know.
Yeah, tensions were high.
That's right. And I went for a walk through the gas lamp area.
Yeah.
And I turn a corner, and all of a sudden, gunshots start raining.
What?
And a cop shot a guy. And everyone started, like, out the windows go, freaking pig, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
Yelling. And it was so intense. Yeah, I didn't see the guy get shot. I saw the guy on the ground because I heard it. And then as I turned the corner, then I saw the guy on the ground.
Damn, man.
And I, like, stood there for a couple minutes and, like, looked around. And then I was like, this is sketch. So I left. And then another guy who was working at the club came out later, and he was like, I can't. He goes, I wish I could stay. He got shot. No, he was fine. He came over to the club, though, to tell them he couldn't work because the cops were calling him in as a witness.
Oh, man.
So it was real. That was my first. And then I went home on that Sunday, and Newsom was like, everything shut down statewide. So, because San Diego was like
by then.
No, because San Diego was like the last bastion. It was just LA County.
Oh, I don't remember. All my memories from then have been kind of muddled and squashed, and now it's just like a bunch of weird resentment about different things that I can't remember why.
You just started harboring stuff still. Yeah, but I mean, since I've been back, now, I mean, San Diego's like one of my favorite cities in the country.
It's very chill. It's a very cool place. They have a lot of, it's a chill vibe. It's funky. It's like, hey, man, we're going to open at 10:30, even though we said we're going to open at 10.
Whatever, bro.
Hey, you know what the weather is here? It's good. That's what it is.
It really is. It's always good.
It's kind of, I heard the story years ago that Daisy Fuentes, when she was I think I'm saying this, who this was. Daisy Fuentes, when she was a weather girl, she would just drive to work, listen to the weather on the radio from a different news station, and that's how she would do her weather report.
I used to do traffic for a radio station, and I would just look at the traffic from the other radio stations.
Yeah,
the traffic
exactly.
reports. I was like, where am I supposed to get it from? I don't know. I mean, like, back in the day, you'd get, like, somebody would call and be like, the traffic is this. They'd be in a chopper or something and give you a report. Then but, you know, with budget cuts, I'm, like, just Googling what the other stations are reporting on traffic, and I'm like, all right, well, I-90 is a little backed up, you know?
Also, now, it doesn't even matter. It's like, what are you going to do? Get there 5 minutes faster, even if you...
Also, yeah, we all have Waze and GPS and stuff that tells us, maybe don't go this way because there's a lot of traffic there. No one's like, I got to tune into this shock jock show and find out which routes I'm taking.
Do you ever
today.
not trust it? Not trust the traffic? Like sometimes I think it's
when
like
I did it.
misleading. Well, I think like the Google Maps, sometimes it's like, hey, we have this neighborhood has paid a lot of money for us to make people not go through it. I think they're doing that now.
I never even thought I'm not
They're
as
definitely-
good at thinking of conspiracies like that.
And you're not paranoid about everything?
Oh, why don't they let me drive through the white neighborhoods?
Yeah, because they
Interesting.
paid a bunch of money to make sure you don't.
But wouldn't drivers want to pay a bunch of money to not drive through bad neighborhoods?
No, because they're not paying any money because it's a free service.
Okay, yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
everything's so corrupt now. It's
That's
ridiculous
interesting.
how everything is just absolutely fully corrupt. Everything's so corrupt now.
That's why I come on here. I would talk about sports.
Well, sports is the most corrupt thing
All right,
of
I know,
all
I know.
time.
Actually, we're gonna get to one of the most like, if sports aren't the Illuminati, I don't know what is. So
Oh my God,
we'll
they
get
are.
into it in a second.
Yes.
But first,
Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep.
but first, I want to talk about your Minnesota Vikings.
Skull.
I got a guy on the Minnesota Vikings.
Got a guy in the Minnesota Vikings.
And you got a new guy,
We
the
got a new guy.
Pastronaut, baby.
Oh, I'm so stoked. It was the most excited I've been to watch a football game since I started watching football.
Well, I'll
Was
tell you
last
this.
Sunday.
Kirk Cousins made me come around on that quarterback
Everybody
documentary.
did. Everybody came around him
I
because
feel
he's
like,
like
a Johnny come lately.
you like the guy. He's a likable guy. He's like just a great person. He's a weirdo. He works really hard. Everything he does is likable.
Do you think
Except for
it's
his
weird?
checkdowns,
It's-
you know?
I think his Christianness is a little like.
You know what? But that's who isn't? Who isn't like that? All
There's a
those
couple
guys
people.
are.
But I don't think he likes gays.
Well,
I think he's like, it's a sin. Because there is.
No
Can you pull
way.
up a quote? Type in Kirk Cousins' quote on the gays.
on the gays. Well, there you go. You're gonna find it.
I mean, it's there. It's a real thing. What does he say there? At the end of the day, anybody in our locker room who is struggling with. Read it for me. I can't see that.
That's
far
a quote. That's a misquote. Who knows? Also, didn't you guys know the NFL has no gay players?
Well, no out gay players.
No, that's.
anymore.
I'm pretty sure there's no gay players in the NFL. I'm certain. I mean, that's why
Just
I like
by
the
number?
NFL. I love the NFL. I love all professional sports because there's literally no gay players. It's impossible.
Please read me that quote because it is interesting what he says. He says nobody's perfect, basically.
At the end of the day, anybody in our locker room who is struggling with something and isn't perfect, which would be everybody in the locker room, my attitude would be that I want to show love to them in a way that shows them Jesus and hope that they can encounter the same love that I encountered from Jesus that May 3rd, 2013.
well, the quote got cut off.
I think this
I
is...
can't tell. I can't read that thing, so I could tell that was an incomplete quote. But basically, he was like, "I hope that I show them Jesus, and then they just become straight."
I think that's what people want him to have said when he really... I can't think he possibly actually feels that way. It's so outmoded to think that. It's ridiculous.
But other than that, I like that he wears like Kohl's shirts, even though he's one of the richest people to ever play in the
Yeah.
NFL. And I think that's funny. He's got a sensible car. It's like, where's
Yeah.
all his fucking money going? His wife is a smoke show. I gotta say,
She's the natural beauty wife of the NFL.
Yes.
She's not like Brittany Mahomes, who's just been through every goddamn...
Sorry, I hit my phone there. That was weird. Cut that out. No, yeah, she's not like, but she's so hot. She's like, oh god, she's like every girl you see in a movie that's like the Christian girl that
Yeah.
you're like, I love her. Anyhow, the Pastronaut though. So Kirk Cousins, for those who don't know, he tore his Achilles or his
Week 8.
ACL. Week 8?
Achilles, yeah, week
Achilles,
8.
right? And Achilles has been going around. Aaron
Dude.
Rodgers did it.
Cam Akers, too.
Cam Akers, a lot
Ridiculous.
of Achilles going around, but it's not exactly a death sentence like it used to be.
Right.
But he is up there. His contract's coming up.
Yeah.
So we're not sure where or when we will see Kirk Cousins again. But stepping in his place, right after it happened, the Vikings made a trade for then starting quarterback Joshua Dobbs of the Arizona Cardinals. They had Kyler Murray coming off his injury, and they said, we got to do something with Josh Dobbs. We're not going to keep him. Let's try and get a draft pick, trade him to the Vikings. So they do. He walks in with, 4 days of the playbook under his belt.
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah. No snaps either.
No snaps.
No
Doesn't
practice
know
snaps.
anybody on the team's names. He gets so they start Jared Hall, a rookie, a late drafted rookie. he gets concussed immediately.
Yeah, I feel like Jaron Hall was like, I'm going to take one for the team. And it almost seemed like,
I felt bad for him.
Cousins was being, God, please. He did a sacrifice there. Could you see that? You saw him when he got concussed.
Yeah.
He got destroyed from two sides. He had to know that was coming. He's like, I'm going to get this ball in. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to die right now.
I felt
so Josh Dobbs
bad.
can start.
Jaron Hall was like, I'm going to get this across the goal line. He couldn't have gotten stuffed harder at the goal line.
He ran into like a negative wall. Like a wall would be easier than the thing he hit because he hit like a wall that pushed back.
Usually, like when that happens, you get murdered, but you break the plane with the ball. All you have to do is get one little piece of the ball over that line.
No.
And it's a touchdown. And he couldn't. It just fucking ran. It was so crazy. So he's out. Josh Dobbs comes in. He doesn't know anybody's names. He doesn't know the name of the plays.
They don't know his cadence at all.
They don't know
nothing. They never heard this guy count at all. They showed this clip on the sideline of him showing them what it sounds like when his mouth says words for the first time. They're like, okay, how does your voice sound when you have to scream over 80,000 people? He's like, it sounds like this. When It's like, okay, fuck.
It's an impossible task that when I bet against the Vikings that day, I just bet against Jared Hall. But then when Josh Dobbs came in, I go, this is cherry.
Yeah.
Turns out Josh Dobbs is a baller.
Yeah,
I mean, he came in and just figured it out. I don't know what happened. Led them to a come-from-behind victory at the last second, not only scoring a touchdown to tie it, but then a 2-point conversion to make it a go-ahead score.
Even some fumbles. He even made some mistakes, big mistakes.
I mean, mistakes that were inevitable coming into that situation. So that game happens. He's a legend. He's a legend when he comes in.
People in Minneapolis, I feel like they must be building some giant throne for him right now. There's like hundreds of dwarves, hundreds of like guys who work at microbrews and who are engineers and just weird sort of blue-collar jobs are just working through the night to build him some sort of massive golden throne.
Maybe he's going to help them because this is how he did what he did. And I think at least. He is like a super genius.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit overrated how much they're talking about him.
Okay.
He didn't like step off a fucking space shuttle or something like that.
They have pictures of him like in the full astronaut gear where I'm like, did he come from the moon to do this?
Yes. I think that he is probably one of the smartest quarterbacks in terms of like book smart and as far as an intellectual in terms of like a higher learning. But the guy is not like he doesn't have a graduate degree. You know what I mean?
He doesn't.
I don't think he does.
Well, this is the thing. Okay, so I've been watching a lot of this show For All Mankind.
What is that?
It's a show on Apple TV, and it's about how if the Russians landed on the moon before us, how the space race would have never finished, and how it would have affected history coming out of it. It's a fucking cool show.
It's anti-Russian, basically?
No, it's actually kind of like it shows like the Soviet Union would still be going in like 2003.
Weird.
It is strange. Like every season is a new decade.
Yeah.
And it shows like if the Russians went to the moon first, we would have had such a hard on for like furthering space exploration to get to other things first. And we would have never really like disbanded NASA as much as we did like in the 70s and 80s. And it just made me start thinking like astronauts though, back then, I don't know about now, I'm sure it's the same. Astronauts back then were like Renaissance men. You had to be like the best athletes so that you could, deal with all the tests and the different atmospheres and like all that kind of shit, the lack of oxygen, whatever the case may be. You had to be in physical peak condition.
Right.
You also had to be a mathematician, a geologist, an archaeologist, electrical engineer, an aerospace engineer. So like super genius also on top of everything.
Yeah, and you have to be like an explorer from the back in the old times. When you go on a ship, you have to have you have dual purpose because there's not enough room to have everyone on. You have to have multiple roles.
So I just thought, could Josh Dobbs, first of all, could any of the astronauts in the 60s play NFL quarterback in the 60s? Probably.
No.
You don't think so?
They're too small.
I think some of them are pretty tall.
You think so?
Although, I mean, so you're saying Josh Dobbs is too tall to go on a space shuttle?
Yeah. I think because he probably eats too much food, I don't want I want like jockeys in space.
Yeah, you want tiny little guys?
Like a bunch of 5'5"ers out there.
I'm going up there?
Maybe 5'1"ers. A bunch of 5'1"ers.
I just thought it was interesting to think about the parallel, like how many astronauts could have been quarterbacks and how many quarterbacks could be astronauts.
I think it's definitely a one-way street.
Yeah, you don't think there's more?
no-
I think there's more genius quarterbacks than we know about.
Okay, I feel like Hurts is a genius.
Hurts, Jalen Hurts.
I do. I think he's really smart.
I'm not making assumptions here, but I didn't know. I mean, he went to Alabama.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not so much where you go to school. It's sort of like how you talk and act.
Okay.
Like he seems like a smart guy. Brady obviously is a smart guy.
But I'm talking like extra level smart, like super
Yeah.
genius. I thought maybe even Kirk Cousins was kind of one of those because he's so
No.
diligent about studying.
Cousins is not that smart.
He's not that smart.
I don't think he is. I think he's got like the football intelligence, but I don't think in terms of actual intelligence. You know what I mean? But some of those guys, they have like that weird body intelligence where they don't know how, like they know stuff, but they don't know how they know it.
Right.
And there's guys who, because some of those guys can't speak. They can't speak in front of people.
Sure.
But there's also a lot of great actors who can't speak in front of people because
Because they're not using other people's words.
they're also idiots. There's a lot of actors who no one knows they're secret dummies. There's a lot of them.
Can you type in quarterbacks who are super geniuses and just see who comes up? Because I wanted to see if there was anybody out there. What does that say? I mean, you're highlighting something as if I can read.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, QB, Washington.
Oh, yeah, he went to Harvard.
Okay.
Richard Sherman went to Stanford, I think.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I guess I believe it. I don't know. I don't know that much about football, to be honest. I'm all about the eye test.
Yeah.
I'm an eye test guy.
Well, I never really cared about it as much because I always liked when my guy has a high football IQ and he's kind of like a cowboy out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, playing in the moment. Not
I feel
worried
like
about
Rodgers is pretty smart.
Yeah, sure.
Rodgers seems like a smart guy. He's got a lot of football IQ.
He sure thinks he's smart.
I feel like Mahomes is pretty smart in terms of football IQ.
Yeah, Texas Tech. He went to Texas
Yeah,
Tech.
but
Yeah,
I don't
I think
think
about
any
where
of them are that.
where they went to school is kind of important.
Herbert
too.
is supposed to be smart. He went to, he's not smart. He went to University of Oregon with a bachelor's degree in biology. I could do
Dumb.
that.
Yeah, me too. No, I can't do that. I can't do any of
Yeah, you
these.
could. I could do any of that shit. No problem.
Well,
you want me
speaking
to
of-
get a bachelor's degree? I'll get any bachelor's degree out there.
You think
No
so?
Absolutely.
I couldn't get the one I went for.
I would dunk on any bachelor's degree out there right now.
I gave
I'm
up so fast.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I finished like easily. I had like I think I had like a 3.8, and I didn't. Oh man, because I went to a hard high school, so college.
So did I, but then when I got to college, I go, I don't want to do this.
Where'd you go to
anymore.
college?
I went to a Jesuit school called Canisius College.
So they're like, "What do you think your grade should be?"
No, it was Jesuit school is like, oh, you have to take one class of religion every semester.
Yeah.
And I was like, this school sucks. And it was like so expensive. I quit as quickly as I could.
Well, I went to Florida State, so that's not saying much
Whoa. Jameis Winston went there.
I know.
So did a lot of people.
either. Winston got in trouble there, didn't he?
Yes.
Was it crab legs?
Crab legs, yeah. He stole
Crab legs.
crab
I was
legs.
telling someone about that, and they're like, "What? He sold crab
He
legs?"
like put them in his Jameis Winston. If we're talking about the opposite of Joshua Dobbs, it's Jameis
Yeah.
Winston, who I love, by the way. I just tweeted about it just the other day. Jameis Winston came in the middle of the game because Derek
he
Carr got a
crushed
concussion,
it.
and he played great. Because here's the thing about Jameis Winston: he just loves throwing the ball far. That's really all it is. He'll just any chance he can bomb the ball down the field, and whether it's an interception or a touchdown, it's always electric. He threw a ball like across the field.
Oh, it was great.
It was so fucking crazy, and that's Jameis Winston for you. But he
But also, you know what? Those crab legs. I'm gonna say this. I don't think he stole anything. He was given them.
right. It was
and-
before the NIL type of thing.
It was a thing where if you're, I didn't realize this, but if you're like an athlete, like a college athlete, you are famous, and people want to have sex with you. They
Yep.
want to give you things for
Yep.
free, and he just took the.
And at the time, you weren't allowed to take those things. A guy
don't-
could come up to you and be like, "I'm a big Florida State supporter.
Take the
I'm a
crab
booster.
legs."
Here's a car," and he couldn't accept it.
Yeah, but he didn't. I mean,
Even the crab legs. If somebody was like at a buffet, they're like, "Oh, you want crab legs? Ah, that's on me."
That's
He
ridiculous,
would get
though.
arrested for that or something.
that's a classic case of a little
$32 in crab legs
That's
from
a little
Publix.
old Southern racism right there, baby. That's a classic case of little old Florida, Tallahassee. Like, did you see the cops down there? They're all these good old boy, like just
Yep.
doughy, puffy guys. Like, you can't park over here. Well, no, I don't think about that. Whoa.
Oh, I done found $32 of crab legs in his pockets.
whoa.
They said it was
whoa.
given to him. Likely story, says the
Oh,
cops.
someone gave you crab legs
'Cause you're
starting.
the- starting
Starting
quarterback.
quarterback. Which is weird, though, because a lot of times the cops at Florida State will look the other way for stuff if the team is winning because You can't be having like your guys get in trouble or anyone get in trouble.
Who was the quarterback when you went to school?
God, I forget. I think
EJ Manuel? Oh no, you're older than that.
It was 2001 when they won. 2000 when they won the national championship. Who was that?
Oh,
God damn! I don't even remember, man.
2000. How old was that? 14.
I keep burping up this liquid death.
Hell yeah, dog.
Something that sounds great on the mic.
You know something? Okay, so this is an interesting college football thing.
Right.
So Texas A&M just fired Jimbo Fisher, former Florida State coach.
Right.
And they had such a crazy contract with Jimbo Fisher that his buyout was $77 million.
Ah, man. These organizations are just so crooked.
So he gets fired, and he gets, for that,
$77 million.
and they did it in a way that is so fucking funny to me.
That's insane.
So the way that they get all this money, because, and shout out to Jack Mack at Barstool for laying all this out for me, like on a thing. So the boosters and all that give the school and the athletic program money, right?
Right. So
during Jimbo Fisher's final game, and I think there's a picture of it, the boosters at halftime gave the school $168 million.
Like, just like do whatever you have a party.
There's a
Have party,
picture of
guys.
it in this article. Scroll around and find it.
In cash? Like in a truck?
No, in a giant check, like they won a prize. There it is right there.
168. They're giving the school that?
Yeah, this is from boosters and like alumni, and obviously it's Texas A&M, so you got a lot of oil people.
There's no more corrupt organization. Is it colleges or is it healthcare? Who's more corrupt?
That's what I was trying to find out.
Like,
That's what I'm trying to say.
Deep level of corruption. It's insane.
Well, it also makes
fleeced. They're fleecing us.
It also makes me wonder: is the Illuminati real? Because here's at the end of the day, these guys are spending so much of their fortune on Texas A&M football, and they can't even get the Aggies into the fucking playoff.
They don't care. It must not matter. It has to be.
I think it matters to them.
It matters to them. They want to, but in terms of like, they're not losing any money. There's some way where they're not losing money because you don't just give away that kind of money unless you're recouping it some way.
It's crazy to me that so they did this during halftime, basically shoving it in Jimbo Fisher's face, like, we're gonna fire you. They made the decision earlier in the week, so $77 million of that $168 million is going to fire Jimbo Fisher. He's going to receive 77. The other percentage is to then hire a new coach.
That's insane.
So they did it right in front of him.
This is a public university, right?
Texas A&M, yeah.
I don't get that at all. I don't get how a public university can have. It doesn't make any sense. It's all boosters. It's all rich oil men who graduated from there going like, I want the Aggies to win the national championship. I think it's deeper than that. It can't just be that. It can't just be donations. It has to be a thing where you get something back from your donation. You're able to do some sort of a write-off, or maybe you're able to. There's got to be something like that, because
it's from the 12th man supporters. That's what they call it.
The 12th man supporters. What does that even make reference to?
Well, the 12th man is, and in fact, Texas A&M and Seattle Seahawks have had ongoing lawsuits as to who can really claim the use of 12th man. That means the fans.
God, it's fucking sick. It's sick.
It really is a disgusting amount of money. The timing of the check presentation was insane, though, to do it at halftime. During the game where you're like, after this game, we're firing this guy. So let's present this check out there to him. But yeah, I mean, so much money that's just Texas A&M, not even a really like top school, like in college football even. I mean, they're not even going to make the fucking playoffs.
But they must make so much money off of merchandising, and they must get money back somehow, like contracts with these businesses. There's got to be all kinds of things going on we're unaware of.
Sure.
There has to be, because there's
to get money from the donors, though, is wild. That's the thing. Yeah,
because all that stuff is like that. You just watch that documentary on HBO called Telemarketers.
I didn't watch it, but I heard.
It's pretty interesting.
About it.
It's just interesting how much just the scam. That's why I'm in the scammy mood.
You bet, yeah. You're skeptical of a lot of things.
Well, but
I like it because it raises my awareness.
It's not really being skeptical. It really is just an actual fact that. But it really is. It's a thing that so many organizations are bilking tons of people for tons of money because they can, and it's all wrapped up in congressional oversight and all these things like that. Where I feel like ever since Citizens United, the United States has been corrupt at a level that most people do not even comprehend.
I don't. You said Citizens United. I don't even know what that is.
It's this law that allowed for corporate personhood, allows for something called a political action committee or a PAC, that allows any type of corporation to be dealt with as though they are a person. And when you're a person, you don't have to disclose any information about anything that's considered private. Right to it's something there, some sort of privacy laws. And so all these campaign donations are able to be shielded from any type of public oversight. And so there's all kinds of tons and tons and tons of political action committees were formed to funnel money from to politicians without anyone knowing about it. So the politicians will then favorably vote for these, will pass laws or take away laws that are restricting
or to benefit the...
Yeah, it's all these things, and you can't know anything about it because it is the corporate personhood thing. It's the kind of thing where when you... it's just so... It's so embedded in everything now to where... it's like there's been a whole generation of politicians have come up in this, and so it's done. It's like a thing.
It's never going back again.
It's never going to go back unless there's like a massive, a full-on audit of the entire government by
changing
some person.
Of ways completely.
There has to be something crazy has to happen because everyone's getting paid out the ass now, and all these people are so protected. There's no possible way to change it. So essentially, it's like a thing where, unless you also want to help us with this grift, you have to play the game with everyone. Otherwise, you get ousted because there's no skin in it for you at all.
I mean, that's the toothpaste in the tube thing right there, folks. That's that's the end of the show. No,
so that's the end of our lives.
Yeah. Show's ending today. Well, one rich man that I actually admire a little bit for what he did. Fired a coach also. And by the way, this guy's going to get a guaranteed contract as well. All NFL coaches do this too. They get paid guaranteed money no matter when they get fired. So Josh McDaniels got fired. Did you read anything
That's the
about
Raiders
this?
Guy?
Yes.
So why did he get fired anyways?
Well, Josh McDaniels is a sniveling bitch,
I'll tell
first
you
of
also
all.
why.
He also is a shitty head coach.
It's also that fucking visor.
No, that's the death knell, and it makes me. It's his signature thing, and it makes me hate him. It's like Belichick with the sleeves. So for those who don't know, Josh McDaniels came up. He was Belichick's little if Belichick was Jabba the Hutt, Josh McDaniels was always that little thing that sat next to him that was like that thing.
Salacious B. Crumb.
Yes. You remembered its name.
Salacious.
Josh McDaniels is Salacious B. Crumb, and he was his offensive coordinator for years. Won many Super Bowls with Bill Belichick. And he, at one point, about a decade ago, tried to become a head coach on his own. And that was the year he went to the Denver Broncos, drafted Tim Tebow in the first round.
Tim Tebow, he's from Florida, right?
Yes, from Florida Gators. Epically, he won the Heisman Trophy. He was like one of the most celebrated college athletes of all time.
Christian.
Big time
Christian. Makes cousins look like a fucking devil.
I talked to one of his former teammates, and he said that Tim Tebow, he never can really verify if he had sex during college, but he certainly liked his blowies. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by DoorDash, who I love so much. And right now, DoorDash is getting even better because football season is here. And when do I require DoorDash the most? It's probably during football season. So when you're throwing a party to watch the big game, because those are coming up, some playoffs, some other things, you're going to want to turn to DoorDash as well. Pizza, wings, soda, nachos, all the stuff for an amazing night without missing a minute of the game. You know, usually somebody will be like, boo-hoo, I want pizza. Then some poor sucker has to go out, get the pizza. They miss all kinds of stuff. DoorDash is taking all that off the table. All your favorite restaurants, retail stores, and grocery shops now on the app, so you can easily order whatever you need and get everything delivered straight to your door. I mean, I was just watching Red Zone for 7 hours of commercial-free football, and I can't get up even to go to the bathroom, let alone to go get food. So thank the Lord that I had DoorDash come deliver right to my door, basically put it into my mouth. That's what I want at the end of the day, and they almost did that. You can even chat with your Dasher throughout the process and track your order's progress, so you know when it's going to come right up to your door, so you don't even have to wait outside for an extra second. Kick back, relax, knowing that DoorDash has the menu under control. And right now you can get 50% off up to a $10 value when you spend $15 or more on your first order. Download the DoorDash app and enter code JOSHBALL. That's all one word, JOSHBALL. That's 50% off when you spend $15 or more on your first order when you download the DoorDash app and enter code JOSHBALL. That's code JOSHBALL for 50% off your first order when you download the DoorDash app. Subject to change, terms apply. Today's Josh Potter Show is also brought to us by FITBOD. It's hard to work out when you know it's going to be boring. That's probably my biggest battle when it comes to working out, is just knowing that I'm going to be bored and I don't want to do it. But you can spice up your routine now with FITBOD. And the app creates and personalizes workout regimens just for you. It even adapts to your needs and keeps you on track. It takes notes of your goals, your current fitness level, and even what equipment you have available. So everything is practical and doable wherever you are starting. I don't have any equipment. Heck, I barely want to even use myself. But thankfully, FITBOD has things within it to tell you how you can get a really good substantial workout without having to use anything. And even if you have like a weight, one little weight, they can find a workout plan that'll be good to use that little weight in. It's pretty awesome how they can figure all of that out and get you an awesome personal and practical workout routine. So keep on top of your progress and personal bests with FITBOD's tracking charts and learn how to do exercises correctly with over 1,000 video demos. Download FITBOD today and get a head start on your fitness resolutions. The new year's rolling around, so you're going to want to get a big head start on those. Get 25% off your subscription and get 3 free personalized workouts when you go. Just go to fitbod.me/Josh. That's 25% off and free personalized workouts at fitbod.me/Josh. And he said that Tim Tebow, he never can really verify if he had sex during college, but he certainly liked his blowies.
A BJ?
Yes. He used the word blowies.
A blowy. Yeah, because blowy's okay. God's like okay with a blow.
I thought God would like be more mad if you dumped your seed into a throat, because that's not part of procreating.
I don't know. We got to ask, I guess.
Isn't it like a mouth? Isn't it considered sodomy technically?
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
In the mouth?
I think it is technically sodomizing.
But hey, Christians love the butt too. They're like, the butt's fine.
Are they?
Yeah, because isn't that the whole thing? Like Christian schoolgirls are always like, not in my pussy, but in my butt.
I mean, I don't have any experience with this. Technically, I haven't recently had a sex with any Christian schoolgirls, so I'm not really sure.
Well, anyhow, nor have I. I mean, I don't think I've ever had sex with a.
So this McDaniel.
So Josh McDaniels, though, he then, after he gets fired in the same way, like the Denver Broncos experiment was awful. He gets fired. He goes back to Bill Belichick, becomes the offensive coordinator of the Patriots again. They win a couple more Super Bowls. Now Josh McDaniels is trying to go, I want to be a head coach again. And the Colts tried to hire him. Mm-hmm. And because the Colts and the Patriots, specifically Bill Belichick and the Colts, Jim Irsay, have such a rivalry, he couldn't do it. He actually accepted the job and then just said, I can't do it, and backed out.
That makes no sense at all.
That's when they hired.
That's also a bitch move, too.
It is a bitch move. So there's that. So then Mark Davis tries to, he fired, I forget who the hell they fired last year.
This is Raiders.
2 years ago, the Raiders, yes. And they hired Josh McDaniels. And Josh McDaniels came in and he brought in Jimmy Garoppolo. He brought in many of the Patriots players that he thought he could build, a new team around. Mm-hmm. Wasn't going well. Terrible season so far. And it turns out that the players didn't enjoy playing for Josh McDaniels.
Dude,
why?
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Why?
No, I'm saying why? Because he was trying to be Bill Belichick.
You can't be Bill.
You got to be your own guy, Josh.
Yeah, man.
You can't be. There's multiple things coming out. So here's one report that I found interesting. It's that Josh McDaniels traded a player off of the team because his wife found that player to be attractive.
How would he even know? And even then, isn't that good? Don't you want that?
Does it say which player it was? It was I forget who it was. What does it say? Don't highlight things. Peyton Hillis. Yes, that was back on the Broncos. Do you remember that?
No.
So Peyton Hillis ended up going to the Browns and becoming a breakout player. but he was on the Broncos, could have really been helpful to their run game. And everyone kind of wondered, why did he trade Peyton Hillis? And it's because his wife wanted to fuck him, evidently.
Did she fuck him, you think?
I hope so. I really dislike Josh McDaniels. And then another thing that happened more recently is the team is in dire straits. Nothing's going well. So Josh McDaniels decides we have to rally the troops. And he has a big meeting with the team.
I spilled.
And he lets one of his positional coaches, Antonio Pierce, who ends up taking over for Josh McDaniels eventually, he lets him have a speech. Now, Antonio Pierce used to be on the Giants when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so that he's got a lot of got a gusto.
It was the year that the Patriots won every game except the Super Bowl.
9 times out of 10,
yeah.
they'd wipe the floor with us, but not tonight.
It's a huge deal, big year. So he references that. He goes, when we played the Patriots, everyone counted us out. You know, they were undefeated coming into the Super Bowl, and everyone said we couldn't win, and we won. And it was trying to rile up the troops.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels took exception with the reference to the Patriots.
Oh, because he was working on them at that time.
He goes, you don't say anything bad about the Patriots. It was a rousing speech. The team loved it. Afterwards, he undressed him and was like, you keep the fucking Patriots name out of your
This sounds like
mouth.
a bad coach, man. This is why KOC is the best.
Yeah.
Because KO is not saying that kind of stuff.
KOC. Oh, Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell, no, he's not saying that. It's all about complimentary football. That's the buzzword of the season, baby. Complimentary football. How could you make the guy next to you better? How can you work with...
This is actually in this thing. This guy Jackson. Let's see here. I don't know. Oh, Nate Jackson of The Defector dropped something of a bomb. Apparently, there are rumors that McDaniels once traded a star player because he thought his wife was attracted to him. McDaniels' ego wasn't fragile only on the field. He famously shipped out running back Peyton Hillis because the rumor had it McDaniels' wife thought his wife was attracted to Hillis. Listen. I don't have a wife, but if my wife said someone was attractive, I'd go, oh yeah, okay. Who cares?
It's that guy who wears a visor cares.
Yeah, and Peyton Hillis is a big brute, man. I think Peyton Hillis had a wife, too, at the time, so I don't think he was trying to fuck your wife there, Josh McDaniels. But also, not only did he get cucked by Peyton Hillis, but then Antonio Pierce came in and gave that speech and then eventually took the man's job.
Awesome.
I think it's great. He made so many bad the whole thing, though, he made such terrible calls. I'm just a guy who watches football, and the calls that he made, he took a field goal in a weird place where you're like, why would you do that there?
Yeah. I don't understand that stuff at all. I feel
what do you mean?
Just the whole
positional stuff.
When people get mad about certain calls and stuff, it seems like there's so much going on. How can you ever be like, oh, this is definitely because of a call?
Well, the thing with Josh McDaniels is
Yeah.
he thinks he's one of those guys that's like, I know what he knows what I know, but I'm gonna do something. And he thinks he's like that out of the box.
Like the Princess Bride thing with the poison.
Yes.
Yeah, so you would think that I would think that you would think that I would think that that I know that you would do this. So
Yes.
I'm gonna do what you think, but then you're smart, so you would know that I think that you know
He's that guy. He gets all
Yeah.
fucked up and mixes it up. In clear situations when you need to drain clock or put more points on the board, he does flabbergasting things to the point where I don't claim to know everything about football at all. I just sit there and I go, that doesn't seem right. And then I ask other people, I go, that was weird, right? And they're like, yeah, that was the dumbest thing that you could have done there. And so he did that a lot. And then he had this dumb look on his face that backfired on him. He just sucks. I'm so glad he's ousted.
Man, you really care a lot about this guy.
Yeah, he ruined my whole adult life
Why?
when he was on the Patriots.
What do you mean he ruined your whole adult?
The Patriots were just, it was like
they were so good.
it was an ominous cloud over the whole division all the time. And just imagine this guy doing anything. I hate him.
It's a new NFL, too. It's a new NFL.
It is?
It is.
I mean, it is, yeah.
It's not the same. Belichick's NFL is not what we're playing right now.
Well, Belichick, they're talking about parting ways with the Patriots, and you know what I say? I think he's planning this. He wants to be the coach of the Giants to his twilight of his life.
How long can you do that?
Do what, coach?
How old is Belichick?
Belichick is, Pete Carroll's the oldest coach in the NFL, and I believe he's 72.
Pete Carroll is the quintessential goal for aging as a man. I think he is.
He's starting to really because he's kind of when he's dodgering on the sidelines, it's kind of you go, oh, he's old.
Yeah,
now.
but he looks
Pete Carroll's
so
72.
good
I called
for
it. Now
72?
Belichick, I think, is 69, maybe 70. But Belichick, fuck, I can't believe I don't have this video.
71, dude.
I can't believe I don't have this fucking video. Please find this. It's Belichick leaving on a walk of shame.
All these assholes.
He's still
are
getting
too
it.
Old.
He just divorced recently, and
Who did?
Belichick.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did, and he's recently.
Shut the
I don't know if we're gonna be
hell
able to find the original, but Belichick's walk of shame. There was a ring cam.
You gotta be
watching
kidding
him
me. This
shirtless
is so cool.
leave shirtless out of a Nantucket home.
Shirtless is the best. Shirtless.
You just see him on the porch, like putting his shirt on, like he just woke up and was like,
God.
I can't believe I forgot to put this in there.
Bill B. He seems like the kind of guy who I knew, like a friend's grandpa growing up.
It's gonna end up being on like TikTok or some horse shit.
Wow. He definitely had like stag nights, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Watching,
yeah. And I mean, now he's like, my cousin lives in Jupiter, Florida. He's like, oh, yeah, I see Bill Belichick on his boat all the time in the off season. So, okay, this guy, we got to hear some idiot talk about it.
This is the problem with everything now. Everything's buried.
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't
just find a thing.
find the thing.
This is one of your problems with, this is one of my problems with things now.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Shut the fuck up. That's incredible.
So here's the ring cam footage of him.
Dude, he's a beast.
I'm just leaving this slut's house.
Who does this? I mean, honestly, no shirt?
I'm just fucked. Leaving my walk of shame here. Who doesn't have a shirt when they leave?
But also, how does this get... Whoever he was hooking up with...
Is a scumbag for putting that out? Yeah.
Yes.
That's a ring camera.
That's a... What the fuck?
I left my shirt someplace.
Fuck this, god damn it.
I gotta go.
I need a Bud Light and a cigarette.
I gotta fly to Germany.
God, I gotta take a shit right now. I need a piece of pie and a toilet. I need a Bud Light and a slice of cherry pie and 10 minutes alone in a nice clean bar bathroom somewhere in Boston.
I gotta say, for all the years that I've absolutely hated Bill Belichick, I really like that video. That was like the one time I go, all right, Bill, 71, just leaving some slut's house. Good for you, dog.
Also, I like Bill because I heard that recently when someone makes a mistake on his team, he's like, you should have, that's not their team. That's you. That's on you, man. Like, he holds his players to be accountable.
Oh, sure,
for
the
stuff,
most
you know?
accountable. And
Yeah.
some people don't like the culture that he puts out there. Like, players have notoriously said they hated playing for him because it's
Really?
just like they feel like a child.
It's like daddy.
Yes,
It's like
exactly.
daddy's mad.
Whereas some other coaches are more player coaches, and they're like, "Be you, dude. Just be you." And then some people shine in that, and some people they really fly a little too close to the sun.
That's the new NFL. The
Yes.
NFL is, hey man, how you feeling about the game? I know we won, but anything bad going on?
Well, there's a hot story about that right now that I wish I included too. But Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, whose dad is a notorious coach. Lane Kiffin kind of shitty as a coach.
Okay.
He's the coach of Ole Miss. A player on Ole Miss missed like 2 weeks because of mental health things.
Yeah.
And when he came back, Lane Kiffin's like, "You're off the team." And there's like audio of him telling him, and he's like, "Well, I had mental health things." He goes, "Mental health things? What are you talking about?" See if you can even find that.
I'm with
Lane
him.
Kiffin. There you go.
I'm sorry, but if
Found
you
that
have to
one.
take 2 weeks for mental health, I don't know you're gonna do it again.
Here's the thing: if you
I
have
can't
mental
trust
health
you.
things, you gotta express that, or at least
Yeah.
put that out there. You can't just disappear.
Or you also gotta not play football at that level.
Yeah, Division I.
Yeah, sorry, you just should not cut out for D1 ball.
Another video where we have to watch some dumb moron talk
You have to
about
be
something.
a grunt, or
I
you
can't believe
have
I
to
couldn't
be...
find these things. I forgot to find these things, but these are all coming up. So, Kiffin says, "Well, what a fucking wait. What does it say?
Well, what fucking world do you live in, Rollins? I don't see why you gotta be so disrespectful. Honestly, get out of here. Go. You're off the team. You're done. See ya. Go. And guess what? We can kick you off the team. So go read your fucking rights about mental fucking health. We can kick you off the team for not showing up. When the head coach asks to meet with you and you don't show up for weeks, what the fuck is that, okay? We can remove you from the fucking team. It's called being a pussy. It's called hiding behind shit and not showing up to fucking work, okay?
He said pussy.
When they hired me out of the Bronx to come coach Ole Miss, I said, what the fuck is this state? Mississippi, thought it was a river. I get down here and you got you taking 2 weeks off for mental health? What the hell is this? You got to take a big dump, okay? Get your dick sucked, go down to the bar, have a couple beers, get your dick sucked, and then come back. Stop blowing this bullshit around here. If you're gay, that's fine. My brother's gay. I like these guys, all right? Just don't tell anybody but me, and we'll work something out, okay? Jesus Christ. 2 weeks.
I love the idea of Lane Kiffin being fucking Joe Pesci, basically.
Two fucking weeks. What do you mean?
He called him a pussy.
For 2 weeks.
You're being a pussy. Oh, my God.
Lincoln, Nebraska. This guy's a real hick. Everyone from Nebraska is just like deep hick.
His father was a football coach, too, so who knows if he's even really, truly from there. But.
All these guys, every one of these guys got the shit beat out of them as a kid. You know it. Every one of these guys just got fucking beat up every day, like in front of their brother to make them jealous. Like, I'm not going to beat your brother. I'm going to beat the fuck.
Lane Kiffin, like, notoriously had a shitty. I mean, it's just like Saban. You know, Nick Saban went to the NFL and just sucked and just left immediately, knowing he was going to suck. I feel like it was a Raiders thing too. Yeah, he was the coach of the Raiders for like 2 seconds.
Who was Saban?
Lane Kiffin.
I don't know anything. You know so much more about football than I do. I just know a little bit about one team, and that's about it.
So back in 2007, Raiders owner Al Davis hired the 31-year-old Kiffin, making him the youngest head coach in the Raiders' history. He signed him to a 2-year contract for $4 million with team option to. Okay, so how did he get fired? On August 12th, 2007, the NFL head coaching debut, Kiffin and the Raiders won their preseason opener. Okay, that's great. Okay, here we go, the departure. On January 25th, 2008, so a year later, it was reported that Davis, who was not known for being patient with his coaches, tried to force Kiffin to resign after his first season ended a 4-12 record. A source close to Kiffin told Mortensen that Kiffin would not resign and would not sign a letter of resignation that would cause him to forfeit $2 million. So he was kind of smart about it. And so he got fired like on the telephone like immediately and then got paid. So good for him, I guess. Now he's the coach of Ole Miss. He'll get fired and get like generational wealth.
Now you can start a hedge fund because you got fired from a head coaching job.
Yeah, not even for doing good at it. If I was a head coach of a college football team, I would love the day they called me and like, you're fired, I'd be like, what a day.
I wish I had known that you could make money in sports by not playing sports.
Right.
Like, if I had known that growing up, I might have had a different life trajectory.
Also, not only not playing them, but not doing your job well.
Yeah, you can just be good enough.
Yeah.
And if you have like enough like swagger, or maybe you do a couple unique things once in a while, it's like, well, he's cheap.
All you got to do is get that contract. You don't have to like then deliver upon that contract. You could get that contract and just go. You could be like that fucking mental health kid and just not show up for 2 weeks. They go, you're fired. And you go, all right, give me my $77 million.
Mental health.
Let's get to the news.
I'm Tom Brokaw.
A lot of OnlyFans in the news.
Are you serious?
This news, at least.
Okay. Josh's OnlyFans news.
That's right. We have a couple of stories that address OnlyFans. Let me see. Where's the other one here? I don't know what's going on. All right. Well, in this case, 2 OnlyFans teachers, one school.
Teachers?
Yes.
Okay.
They're teachers. Teachers don't get paid a lot.
They don't. They don't get paid anything.
So a couple of them made some OnlyFans, and I, in fact, know of a handful. I've come across stories of this a lot. You don't want your teachers doing OnlyFans. How about you give them a living wage, maybe? A teacher who works at the same Missouri high school as Brianna Coppage also has been placed on leave for what she believes to be a discovery of her OnlyFans account. So 2 teachers were caught with OnlyFans account in the same school.
How do they get caught, though?
That's what we always bring up here, and that's why I bring up these articles, because I'd love to know, because here's the thing. That means that somebody was on the site and came across them and narked.
But it also means, like, did you not change your name?
They probably did, actually.
Yeah.
Or they use like a pseudonym. But you can't change your face and your tits and your...
Right, that's true, but I don't know how this stuff... It seems like...
Let's see if they tell how she got caught. Megan Gaither has been teaching at St. Clair High School for 4 years. Her career now hangs in the balance since she was put on leave by the school district at the end of October. I've cried a lot, she said. It feels like I'm losing a part of myself. She said she thinks it's because she had an OnlyFans page, an internet subscription service where people can provide adult content. A coworker of hers gained national attention when she was put on leave and later resigned after her OnlyFans account was made public. I know what it looks like. I know it doesn't look good, but I truly did not want this. In a heartbeat, I would give it all up. I would give every penny back. I would go back to the beginning of summer, and I wouldn't have joined OnlyFans because I love my job and I love teaching.
This is like going on Shark Tank and saying no to the deal just for the free promotion. It's like if I had if I was an OnlyFans person, I'd be like, I'm going to become a teacher and get fired so I can get a ton more eyes on my OnlyFans
Yeah,
page.
you get the press releases.
You're not making shit on as a teacher.
We had a teacher on, her name was Sarah. We had a teacher who got fired on this very show, and it was kind of like that, where she was like, well, now I'm definitely getting more subscriptions. Since then, I've talked to her. She has regretted all of it.
Really? Why?
Because there's, and this has happened for many creators since COVID, there's been a downturn.
Oh,
because people are getting out again.
Because things have changed. Because people are like, I think I want to date a person. I think I want to meet somebody, maybe like because we have friends in common. I think I want to meet somebody who actually likes me.
And also inversely, people are like, I don't think I want to do porn anymore because I can just go out and get a job now. Yeah,
but also I think I've heard that there's people who, unless you're like committed, unless you get the face tattoo version of OnlyFans, that it does something to your like credit report.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's something where it's like if you're trying to get a legitimate job, when they do background checks, it shows up and they're like, you know what? If it's between the two equal things, we're gonna pick the non-OnlyFans person because it's sort of like, it's like weed in California, right? It's legal, but you still can't use a credit card there because they can't process their monies through Visa because they don't want to touch that money because it's like it's tainted.
Money. That's interesting. So you're saying like because you pay tax, you get like a 1099 from OnlyFans. That's on your permanent record.
Yeah, because it's not a cash thing.
Right.
It's not under the table.
Right.
So it does show up, and people like everything shows. Everything you've ever done in your life everything's recorded now. So.
Well, I thought I had another OnlyFans story here, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. We'll get to it. But here's another teacher story. That's maybe what I thought. Maybe I have two teacher stories. And
Can I read this out loud?
Stories. Well, this is. Let me read this email first. What does that say?
I just want to. This seems
that's
really
the
good.
thing. That was the other story. Where the hell is it in here?
OnlyFans stars pet python bites scene partner's penis. Quote, I've never had an issue with her biting or anything until today.
That's all we really need to know about that story, I guess, right?
I feel like that's one of those things where that's like Letterman. That's a whole episode of Letterman right there, back in the 90s. Python.
How on earth or why on earth? This is definitey a lane in OnlyFans. Is it in there?
Hey, Paul, Python, huh? Python bit his whoo. Hey, Paul. Paul, you got any snakes over there? Let me know.
Hey,
hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul, you ever have that happen? Python biting
a snake biting a snake. Hope one snake's bigger.
Anywho. So I'm sure there's explanation why the python was involved with. Maybe that's his performance art.
Oh, my God. I don't think it's...
You think he was comparing sizes? We got a python here, we got a python there.
This is what happens when you're a snake person.
And a porn person.
There's a Venn diagram, and it's a huge intersection.
Okay, that's a good question.
Snake person.
Do you think every snake person has had their snake close to their penis at one point? Whether on film or not.
I think that snake people are people who don't leave home a lot. And so, yes.
I can't... Now, have you ever dabbled?
In snakes?
Or the reptile life?
I wanted to super bad as a kid. I really wanted to, but my parents, for some reason, wouldn't let me.
They had the foresight?
I currently want to get a rat snake from my backyard.
A what?
A rat snake. It's not a poisonous snake. It's just a huge-ass snake that eats rats.
Oh, I thought it was like a combination of
But
the
my
two
neighbor
animals.
is so afraid of snakes. He's like deathly afraid of snakes. And also, my wife doesn't want us to have a snake that lives in our backyard.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Even though also...
It would go elsewhere, right?
It might.
Yeah.
In which case I would be very sad, but I would love to... How cool would it be to have a snake that lives on your property that's sort of like, it takes care of the vermin.
I'd be kind of frightened that I'd like roll over in my sleep and like open my eyes and it'd be like, "What's up?"
You would be lucky for a snake to come in beside and be, "Hey man, I got all the rats."
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Because these things, they're cool snakes. They're not dangerous. They don't bite people at all.
I just have stray cats that live in my backyard that take care of those.
I don't know why we don't have cats. We have cats that come from time to time, but a snake is so much cooler.
Yeah.
Because cats eat birds too.
Cool.
And they shit.
Birds suck.
Oh my God. You're going to regret that one.
Why?
Birds suck?
Yeah.
That's like, no, you can't say that.
Birds are like
That's like talking
scary.
shit about Taylor S.
No, is it?
Yeah.
do you
Birds are scary.
What do you think's worse right now? Talking bad about
Taylor S?
TS or about Israel Hamas? Which one's coming for you quicker?
I won't even say. It's so hot, I won't even say. Duncan has a joke about Taylor S right now. I'm honestly like, hey, man.
That's tough.
I think the joke is about what we're talking about, but I'm kind of like, I think you gotta be careful. Because these people, they're just like the Mossad, or they're just gonna,
it's really
you just don't
nuts.
know. You think about all the stuff that fucking, what's his name, Weinstein.
Yeah.
You know all the stuff that he did before he got in trouble for real? He hired all these people to do all kinds of crazy stuff to keep him from getting in trouble. And that's just one guy.
Yeah.
The TS, man, TS is like, TS is
frightening.
TS is the poster child for the Illuminati.
TS
is the head of the dragon. And you cannot disgrace the head of the dragon. You have to basically, we all have to have fealty to this thing, this entity. Otherwise, it really is. It's a classic case of the thing saying it has no power, yet if you disgrace it, it will destroy you. Isn't that kind of like basically convicting yourself for the thing you're saying you're not doing? I don't know, TS.
It's frightening. TS kind of sounds like two other letters. SS.
What? I didn't hear what you said. I'm just thinking about how much I love Sun-Maid raisins. when I want raisins, I reach for Sun-Maid because there's no other raisins to have.
I've said it time and time again. I don't want any smoke with you Swifties.
When I listen to music,
to
I listen to Taylor Swift. When I eat raisins, I eat Sun-Maid raisins. Why? What else is there? Taylor Swift and Sun-Maid raisins. California, the best.
Karma is my boyfriend. Okay, so I got an email at joshpottershow@gmail.com. It says, "Hey Josh, been with you since the Roach Motel days, but this is the first time I've sent in a Roach report. I'm sure you already got this story. I did not. But I have the police reports. Around 20 miles north of me, a story is still breaking about teachers sucking and fucking with students."
I like how they said sucking and fucking. That is probably one of the greatest sayings of all time. Is
it's cool that they rhyme.
You have to do a little bit of suck and fuck. Okay, a little bit of suck and fuck, no problem.
The story says, the story only says 2 teachers, but up to 7 of the teachers are being investigated. This is a school of only 335 high school students and only 22 high school teachers. That means 1 in every 3 teachers might be banging the students.
I can still play high school, I think.
You can. But it gets even better. Get this. The details on the police reports are so specific it reads like a fucking romance novel. Unfortunately, everyone involved looks like they're from southern Missouri. I originally typed that they look like they're from Missouri, but then I remembered Kelsey Cook is from here, and I had to specify she's actually from Spokane, Washington. I'll keep up the... I don't know why he went on a... He's like, Kelsey Cook's hot, though.
Well, that's what's called not knowing how to write.
I think that one on the left, I think she's pretty good looking. Okay, anyway. So let's see what this says.
They're already
here.
in the orange?
Looks like they've already been arrested. He said 2 have been arrested, but 7 are being investigated. One mother in the Kelly School District said her daughter is devastated after her favorite teacher is accused of having sexual contact with a student. Mrs. L, I don't think she really understands how many students loved her, truly loved her and respected her.
Wow, they really did.
Says this, yeah, they sure loved her.
They really did.
I'd love a teacher who was blowing me, too. It's like, you got a B, but you're also going to get a BJ.
God.
I have her cell phone number. Anytime there was a problem, we went to her, says this girl. And Anna, my daughter, feels like she's been let down. I honestly couldn't believe it. My brain can't process this. The senior at Kelly High School hopped on a phone call with Heartland News after she got out of school on Thursday. She said she looked at Limbaugh like a second mom. I always just want to ask her why or if it was worth it. This is crazy.
Do you ever think that certain places in the country are A little different. That they're maybe like just don't have enough to do.
Well, I mean, sure, or enough people to do, evidently.
Nobody
could have been prepared for this. Where's the part about the police reports here? I want to see what the details were.
Nobody could have been prepared for something that has been happening since as long as people have been alive.
Why can't the teachers just fuck each other?
Because they probably are, I bet.
But they're involving the students as well?
I think this is just a classic case of towny bullshit.
Go back to those mugshots if you can when you get a chance.
Wow.
Was that the only two those are the only two that were arrested? The one, that one on the left is fucking pretty.
I mean, she's probably in her 20s.
Yeah, she's not so far off from these folks.
We didn't have any teachers in our 20s. I don't think we did. Maybe we did. I just think they seemed older to me for some reason. You know what I mean?
We definitely did, and they did seem older, but there was definitely teachers that I was like, that teacher is a babe.
Yeah, we had one teacher that was a babe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's end on this. This is interesting. This kind of reminds me of like if one of your characters went down a dark side, I feel like this is the way that he would go. Workers at a Fife auto repair shop made a shocking discovery in a customer's vehicle, which led police to a man's cache of illegally modified guns and explosives.
Oh my God, he's got freaking three realistic face masks? Those are full. Oh my God.
According to a complaint filed with the U.S. District Court in Tacoma, this man, Brady Eltz, took his car to a glass repair shop to have a window replaced. So his window was like cracked, and he's like, "Can you fix this?" And then they just found all of that in his car.
Shouldn't be going in his trunk.
I know. Well, that's.
But also, why would you keep that stuff in there?
Yeah, that's like I would clean out my trunk of the guns if I'm taking it into the shop.
What is that thing on the right above the vest?
I can't tell.
It's some sort of like American flag thing? Is it a bunch of lighters? What is that?
It looks like lighters or maybe matches or something. Batteries.
Oh, but why would they show that? It's like why would they show? He's got a lot of batteries here.
Are those masks, like you said?
Those are masks you pull over your head, and they go into your neckline, so it looks like you're literally. This is the kind of thing. This is the psycho shit where you, if you're like a special agent for the CIA, you put the shit on to go infiltrate a place.
Oh, that's like the Ethan Hunt mask when he's like John Voight, and then he takes it off.
Dude, for real, you can buy these now. They're commercially available. He's got 3 of them. So oh my God, he's got body armor,
that's
a face mask.
Trunk. That's a big trunk. Well, here it says workers found 5 guns in the car and noted it appeared shots had been fired from inside the vehicle.
What?
The shop contacted police, who responded and arrested the man, who is convicted felon and prohibited from possessing firearms.
Oh.
Officers allege that Eltz also has stashed 2 guns in the vanity of the auto shop's bathroom.
Oh, this is weird.
Why would he do that?
This guy's on the run.
He's like one of those guys that like, it's like the mafia where they're like, there's a gun behind the toilet. He's just, everywhere he goes, he's stashing guns. Who just has...
I got 7 places to go in case I get into trouble. If they fire me from Ole Miss, I got a place to go.
The employees told police that Eltz had asked if they would need to access the trunk of his car while doing the repair. You going to need to go in the trunk for this? And they're like, no, we're just fixing the glass. And he's like, okay, good. I'm going to keep all of my guns and explosives in there.
That's basically just told him, hey, do you guys want to look at my trunk?
Yeah, that's...
You guys might want to look at my... One time, a friend of mine...
You're not going to look at the trunk, are you?
He stayed over at my house when we were out of town. This is like years ago, and I lived with a couple roommates downtown. He left his digital camera there, and he's like, oh my, I left my camera there. Whatever you do, don't look at the pictures on there. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to look at the pictures now. Because it's like...
What was he trying to hide, dick pics
I would
or something?
never... Yeah, of course, dick pics.
That was a different age, right? When we were carrying around digital cameras.
This is like 15 years ago. I would never fucking look at... I don't want to look in your camera. Yeah. Now we're like, oh, well, thank you for telling me to look in your... I think, honestly, he wanted me to look in the camera.
Yeah.
It's like that thing where, oh, whatever you do, officer, don't put the cuffs on me. Whatever you do, don't arrest me.
Don't look at my trunk. Don't do it.
Whatever you do, don't force me to take off my blouse, officer. I don't know what would happen to my breasts.
Eltz learned that he could not watch the repair and that personnel would need to access the trunk, evidently. Eltz opened the trunk and an employee saw firearms inside, which Eltz tried to cover up by moving bags in the trunk over the top of the weapons. He stated that he had illegal shit in his trunk. You don't say that.
Hey, just so you know, I've got illegal. This guy wants to go to prison.
He's like,
God,
LOL, I got illegal stuff in here.
I got to go back to prison, but I don't want to kill anybody.
While searching his jacket after the arrest, officers reported finding 2 knives, 2 ski masks, 2 loaded magazines, another auto sear device, cash, and drug paraphernalia. That's what you want.
What about the 3 masks? That's the big one. That's the big one they're not talking about.
In Eltz's car, officers say they saw bullet holes that were consistent with a weapon being fired from the inside the car. The officers secured the car, and that was probably just from him putting the guns in there, and they fired.
Yeah, been throwing them around.
Yeah,
taking a sharp left.
Hitting a hitting a railroad track, kadoosh, and then having it fire.
Is this Wile E. Coyote because he's pissed about the movie getting shelved?
I'm sure he's pissed about something. Detectives found more weapons, including rifles, a shotgun, and handguns with silencers. As the search continued, the detective removed a black bag from the trunk, opened it, then noticed what looked like to be a fused military explosive device and what appeared to be a larger fused improvised explosive device, an IED, if you will. The Pierce County Sheriff's Department bomb squad responded and inspected the explosives, one of which they determined were used in military training. The second device was larger and had a fuse attached to a chunk. Once all explosives were removed, detectives found more guns, an armored mask with Hasta la Muerte written on it.
Hasta la Muerte, that means goodbye, death?
Yeah.
Hasta? No. Hasta
Goodbye
la
to death?
Hasta la Muerte?
Hasta la vista means goodbye to life.
To death.
Right?
To death.
Okay.
Is it? To death?
Yeah, like Hasta la Vista is till
Yeah.
I see you again.
Hasta la vista.
Okay.
Right, hasta la
I'll
muerte.
see you in hell.
Hasta la muerte.
Hasta in hell.
Hasta in hell, baby.
3 elderly male silicone masks were found.
Okay.
Body armor, including a helmet and groin protector, gun accessories, and a Raytheon thermal weapon scope.
Give a shout out to Raytheon, everybody.
Yeah, Raytheon getting a good shout out there in the
Raytheon.
article.
Don't support one side, support both. Raytheon. Why? It's someone, I make these Raytheon t-shirts and sweatshirts.
I love those.
And someone bought one recently and they said, I love this. This is like rooting for Gatorade in the Super Bowl. He's right, you know?
I should get a job there. Once the explosives were removed from Eltz's car, detectives found more guns. Okay, we said that. Yes, okay. A Raytheon. The detectives say they also found GPS trackers in his vehicles. The totality of items in the vehicle that were weapons, body armor, explosives, masks, tactical gear was beyond concerning, according to a deputy.
Why do you think they only mentioned the brand name of one thing?
Yeah, it is strange.
They weren't like...
Is there? Like they had to get out the Raytheon thermal weapon.
Just so you know, this wasn't a General Dynamics or a Northrop Grumman. This was a Raytheon scope.
Yeah, can't they just say scope?
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
This was it was an American-made scope. It was made with American prison labor. It's made with American untaxed prison labor that's still going on all the time and will never stop because we live in a great country where you can make money as long as you're willing to lie. It's true, though. It really is true.
Eltz faces federal charges of unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of a machine gun. He's also charged in Pierce County Superior Court with possessing an explosive device, unlawful possession of a machine gun, and 6 other weapons charges. A federal judge determined Eltz would be held in custody ahead of trial. His next court date was scheduled for later this month.
I want to see what this guy looks like.
Does it have him in there?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, because I'm going to go with white.
I'm going to go with not attractive.
You okay?
He's those masks.
I think he's fat.
Tacoma's rough, too. Tacoma's rough.
Yeah, sure is. Kelsey Cook lives there, evidently. According to that last email.
Who's Kelsey Cook?
She's a comedian.
I don't know anybody.
She's been on the show before.
I'm sure I do know Kelsey Cook. I just don't know sometimes I don't know name.
Is that him there?
I'm not sure.
No, he's not black. The guy's not black. If he is, then I say let him have all that stuff because he lives in Tacoma, Washington, and he's going to need it. Mm-hmm. If he's black. Oh, well.
Need that stuff to get back.
To another time, we find out what this man looked like, but Mr. Pemberton, please plug anything you'd like. If you
Come see me in Chicago in January. It's the 3rd weekend in Chicago. I'm going to be doing my solo show in Chicago at the Den Theater. Goddamn, when is it? It's goddamn, this is my Chicago accent. I got to talk in Chicago. I'm going to be there on the 17th through the 21st, doing shows at the Den. It's Minnesota Reggae Colostomy Bag. It's my solo show. I've never done it in Chicago before. It's a special show. It's not just stand-up. It's a whole one-man show.
It's weird to hear you say that in the Chicago accent.
Yeah, go on down there and get yourself some popcorn. And, Justin Fields, she's not doing too good,
Tyson Badgett. What's his name?
Tyson
Badgett?
Baggett. He bagged Stroud, huh? Not Stroud. He bagged Young, right?
Yes. Bryce Young.
Undrafted.
Bryce Young's not having a great year.
No.
CJ Stroud, though, having a wonderful year.
First-round draft picks. Nah, no thanks.
CJ Stroud, second overall, doing pretty good. Maybe even MVP conversation.
Talking about Dobbs for MVP, too,
That's
Talking
crazy.
about Dobbs for...
That's crazy if Dobbs is MVP.
I think it's just they love the Cinderella story.
Who doesn't like a underdog thing?
Yeah,
It
also,
is exciting.
the NFL, the more I realize, is the first half of the season, that's when the games are real.
As opposed
To later on, when the holding calls start to show up to push the narrative, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You can always find a hold, baby. Am I right about that?
I mean, there are flags so often, it's getting annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I watch Red Zone, I can't even watch a single game anymore because it's like...
Oh, they're calling that back because it's making the game not close enough as you want. It's okay, I like it.
There
It's
is
good.
a rumor of that, I mean, always. But
Oh, really?
I try to keep my head above board and say that the refs aren't affecting things. I try to
Yeah.
stay pure about
There's
it.
no huge entity that makes tons of money that's technically listed as a nonprofit ever has anything weird going on with it. SAG didn't just approve a massive multi-million-dollar slush fund. Did you know that? The SAG deal has a 25% of this money is going into a literal slush fund that is to be doled out with no oversight to whomever they see fit. It's insane to me. It's like literally corruption it's written in the contract. Like, so we're gonna do just a little bit of corruption here, just so you guys know.
Jimbo Fisher will get $77 million.
God,
It's
he's
all...
gonna get it from SAG,
Yeah.
from all my residuals from everything I have on
That's how
streaming.
they siphon it through all my residuals.
Yeah, go see Fallout in April. Well, don't go see it. Watch it from home.
Where it's going to be on TV.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Amazon Prime. I think it premieres April's 16th, something like that. You'll figure it out.
That's your Lane Kiffin money right there.
What is it?
It's your Lane Kiffin money, right?
What's that?
The Fallout money.
Your Lane Kiffin?
Or not Lane Kiffin, I meant Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, I guess so. Maybe. I don't get a.
Do you get fired from the show and you get $77 million?
Oh my God, that'd be cool.
I'd go
Be
do something
badass.
heinous right now if that was a thing.
December 2nd, mic drop.
December 2nd, I will also be in San Diego,
Yeah.
so you come see one of us for Christ's
Yeah, or
sake. Go
just,
see him on December 2nd. Come see me on December 1st.
Hell yeah, do double duty.
Or come see me on December 3rd. I'll be there all the days. 5 shows. Or
Dutch
you can even go
door.
see Johnny in the early show and then come see me in the late show.
Oh, I like that.
Plenty of opportunity. And also next week, a week from today, I'm going to be in Buffalo, Helium Comedy Club. Please buy up those tickets. And also Brea. Josh Potter and friends. I haven't announced the lineup, but I'm going to announce it right now. It's me. It's Annie Letterman. It is Chase O'Donnell and Miranda Meadows. So
When is
come
this?
on out. This is the 29th of November.
Nice.
At the Brea Improv. So I'm announcing it right now.
What day of the
That's
week is
lineup.
that?
I don't know.
You should know
The
that.
29th? I think it's a
Sunday after Thanksgiving. Oh, come out. bring your friends who are coming back to town.
No, it's not the 26th is the Sunday after
It's
Thanksgiving.
gonna be a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So it's a week
Yeah.
after the Buffalo show. So
Right
come on out, folks. Either way, go over to the Instagram, go over to the Twitter. Just check the links in the fucking description. You got this. I love you. We'll see you next time. It's the Josh Potter Show, folks.